Prosecution in Harvey Weinstein's sex crimes trial now rests after weeks of testimony from 6 women who recounted the movie producer's alleged assaults in graphic detail. Weinstein's criminal charges stem from allegations made by 2 of those women, including a former production assistant, Mimi Halei, who told the jury of her alleged 2006 assault, quote, "I was kicking, I was pushing, I was trying to get away from his grip." In moments, Mimi's attorney, Gloria Allred, who also represents other accusers, joins me exclusively tonight. But first, Chief Breaking News correspondent Trace Gallagher. Hi, Trace.
Hi, Martha. The prosecution's case took 2 weeks with 28 witnesses, including 6 women who claimed that Harvey Weinstein sexually assaulted them. But the charges in this trial are based only on the testimony of 2 women, with partial testimony from a third, the Sopranos actress Annabella Sciorra, who testified that Weinstein raped her in the winter of 1993-94. Then there's aspiring actress Jessica Mann, who testified the movie producer raped her twice during an abusive relationship, and Miriam Mimi Halei, who claims Weinstein forced oral sex on her in 2006. Halei says Weinstein invited her to his Manhattan apartment and made a move on her while she sat on his couch. And though she rejected him, he kept pulling her toward him before he backed her into the bedroom, pushed her on the bed, and held her down. Halei says she repeatedly said no, even telling him she was on her period. Watch.
I would not have wanted anyone to do that to me, even if the person had been a romantic partner. I remember Harvey afterwards rolling over onto his back saying, "Don't you feel we're so much closer to each other now?"
Weinstein claims the sexual encounters were consensual, and his defense attorneys continually pointed to messages the women sent to Weinstein after the alleged attacks. For example, 2 years after Halei claims Weinstein sexually assaulted her, she sent him a note that reads, quote, "Hi, Harvey, how are you? Great to see you in Cannes." The letter goes on to talk about an idea Halei had for a project a few years prior, and the note ends with Halei writing, quote, "Lots of love, Miriam." Meantime, the New York Times is reporting that in the 90s, Weinstein admitted to a former Miramax employee who also accused him of sexual misconduct that he didn't always know when the sex was consensual. Quoting here, "Things confusing for me, too. You may not believe that. Sometimes don't know when it's consensual, trying to learn. Maybe I don't recognize my power in these situations." Weinstein's attorneys say those words were never spoken. Martha.
Trace, thank you very much. Yep. Here now exclusively tonight, Gloria Allred, an attorney who represents 3 of the women who testified against Harvey Weinstein. Gloria, good to see you tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Martha. And yes, I am so proud of these 3 witnesses that I represent. Mimi, Annabella Sciorra, and also Lauren Marie Young, who testified this week.
So the prosecution has rested, as we said. The defense is about to begin their case. And one of the things that they will bring up, which has already been brought up in the Mimi Halei case, is that 2 weeks after the alleged assault, she had consensual sex with him. And she said she felt stupid and like an idiot for letting him do that, but that, yes, that's what happened. How do you respond to that? Why would she do that?
Okay, well, number one, I don't think she classified it as consensual. She did say she didn't resist, she froze. And, but he's not charged with that. He is charged with the initial act that you described at the beginning of this segment, which is essentially that he forced himself on her, that she said no, that she said, "No, I'm on my period," that he then, and she testified to this, forced her onto the bed, and while she is trying to fight him off, pulled out her tampon and orally copulated her.
It's disgusting. And, you know, I mean, some of the details in all of these cases are just so graphic and so gross that it, you know, is hard to talk about. But by the same token, you know, just you are the defense, you are on her behalf, and the defense attorneys are claiming that a lot of the evidence in this case shows that she continually went back to this relationship. And their argument is that she was essentially transactional in her relationship with Harvey. He was paying for flights to her back and forth to London. She has notes in her diary, you know, her journal for work, call Harvey about the tickets that turned out to to be plane tickets. She then says that she was totally bummed that she missed seeing Harvey and the assistant when they were all in London. And then in 2008, she reaches out, as Trace had in his story there, to say that she wanted to see them at the Cannes Film Festival, but was sorry that it didn't work out. So all of these interactions suggest, at least this is what his defense is saying, that they had a strange, horrific relationship in many aspects, but that it was transactional between the two of them. What do you say to that?
Well, I say, first of all, let's focus on the charge, and the charge has to do with what you and I discussed, the allegation that he forced himself on her originally. Second, we're talking about a business relationship and an employment relationship. That's much more complicated. This is not about a stranger assaulting a woman, raping her in a dark alley, where you never expect them to speak again. In Hollywood, they're often their employment relationships, their business relationships. There's, show me any script if you want me to review a script and see if I can produce it, right, type of relationship. It doesn't mean the initial act of misconduct or a crime didn't happen. And by the way, she has actually very few emails afterwards. And but even if she did, it doesn't mean that the initial act didn't occur. And Dr. Barbara Ziv, who is an expert on rape and sexual assault, has testified in this case for the prosecution, and that she says it's quite normal for there to be contact between the rapist or the sexual assaulter after the rape and the victim. It's not unusual at all.
Well, it's a fascinating case and horrific for everybody involved. Gloria Allred, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight.
Thank
We're going to follow how it all turns out.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay.